Good afternoon and welcome back to Music Scrap, the Musical Scrapper, Part 2. Ustream didn't want me to stay connected there. Booted me from recording, booted me from the chat room, completely booted me. And then when I tried to refresh, it wouldn't even accept my connection. So I had to totally restart Chrome. So that must have been a Flash issue. Something happened with Flash, I think, when I totally got, disconnected from Chrome and the whole bit. Okay, so what was I in the middle of? Okay, so I got that one done. So this one's going to be green. That's under here. All right, and I totally need a new paper towel. Don't know what happened to my other one. Probably dropped it on the floor in that commotion. So, hey Dixie. Oh, welcome back, Sarah. You missed the commotion. I just got booted. Totally. It didn't say flash crash, but it just said connection rejected. So when I tried to hit stream again. So I assume it'll all be saved. All right, so I'm going back to some light green in here. And along this vein, some light green. And then some dark green around the edges. I'm kind of thinking, even though I'm going over the black lines with this paint, I'm thinking they're still going to show on the transfer because we're going to see the back of the image first, right? So that is my hypothesis. Let's see if my hypothesis is correct once we get the transfer done. Well, since I started the recording again, I'm going to have more time. I was going to have to start the recording again anyway, because I wasn't going to finish it in the time allotted. So, alright, I think I need a thinner one. A thinner brush. Maybe. For this one. This is just a little a liner brush I'm using here. This is the coloring book page I started on my stream on Monday. These three I did on my stream on Monday with Prismacolor pencils, and the rest of them I painted today using acrylic paint and my acrylic Posca paint markers, which are obviously acrylic too. So now I'm going to go back in with some lighter green to get some more texture here in these darker areas, because no leaf is that solid a color. Get some more green to mix in there. There we go. Need some more of that one too. So I'm going back in and fixing this one up too with a little more green, light green. A little too much. Paper towels are a wonderful thing. Okay, good. I like that. Talking to myself, sorry. Cause I always do. Bye, Tina. Oh no, Vicky, go have a nap. Hey, Dixie. Okay. Alrighty. think I'm going to cut around that one. Oh, totally missed a part of this one. Okay. Totally missed part of that one. Okay. Let's get a little bit more of this color in here. A little bit more of the yellow modeled in this one like I did the other ones. This is the one I did first, and I didn't get any of the yellow put into this one. One moment. Go back to my other brush. Hey, Rebecca, I can't even remember if I said... I can't even remember if I said hi to you or not, Rebecca. I've seen you. I saw you in the chat, but can't remember if I even said hi. Oh, I don't want green. No, I want yellow. Sorry, I got distracted by saying hi to Rebecca. Okay. Need a little more yellow in here. It works better if the other undercolor is still wet, but that's all right. This will still work. It will work. Adding a little texture. I guess I'm at least good at adding texture. Couldn't have drawn the leaves, but hey, I can paint and texture them. So that's good. That's why I like coloring books. Someone else can do the drawing for me. I'll do the painting part. Yeah. Hey, I'll use someone else's art. No problem. Maybe someday I'll be ready to practice my drawing, and then I can get better at that. Right now, I'll practice my painting skills. There we are. Still need a little more on this one. Another layer of texture. Because like I said, it is pretty transparent, so when it dries, you may need to add some more texture on it. There we go. Alrighty. So I think I'll... this one. I was going to do yellow, wasn't I? So this I am going to do yellow so that it's quite different from my others that are around it. So this is maple leaves and birch trees, which are both big in Canada. Of course, the sugar maple and the regular maple. Yep, Dixie, Flint Rock is a Rebecca. I'm just going to put a few kind of textured of that orangey red on there and leave that be. Okay, now this one. Oh, I didn't even finish this one. Is this the one I was working on when I went offline or something? No, it wasn't. But anyway, I will work on it now. Somehow, I didn't get it all done. Get distracted, you know. Easily sometimes by all the pretty stuff I'm trying to work on. So this is pretty, I mean, the paper, obviously the paper is wrinkling a little bit, but it's not falling apart, which is good. A few wrinkles I can handle. That's texture. Falling apart, I don't like, but I'm trying not to use much water. And drying my brush off, so I'm basically using a almost dry paintbrush. I try dry brush technique. So there. That is actually a little part of this one, so I'm going to try to get, I'm going to use my smaller brush. I'm going to see if I can get a little more yellow on that part, because it is this other yellow one that's coming out from underneath. This is part of the yellow one. It's hard to see. I didn't notice that until I started painting this one, that it's actually part of this yellow one, not that one. That's okay. Not worried about going outside the lines here because that's going to get cut off anyway. All right, I'm almost ready. Just going to do a little bit of drying before I cut off. Trim it down. Actually, I'm going to let it dry a little bit. I'm going to paint my white part because I need to add some white to this section of this. To my non-red parts, I'm going to get white paint. I'm going to use a different paint palette because I do not want the white to get affected. So I'm going to take this off. And line this up along the red now. Yay, Dixie. Glad you got home. See, I still tore some of the paper, even with, I hope I don't tear the red paint off. See, I'll try to only press it down along the very edge here, and not the rest of it. So, okay. My red. Right, let's get my big Mama Jamba scissors out of the way. And my new paint palette. And put that out of my way. And I need my palette knife. Excuse me if you're wearing headphones. Gonna need a fair amount of white here. This is Desserts student grade acrylic paint. Desserts is an art store here in Canada. So this is their brand paint. And I need a straight line brush. That one's too hard, I don't know. Paint must have dried on it. This one will work better than the other silly one I tried to use for the red. And I think I'm even going to put, this is where those leaves are going to go down along the bottom here, overlapping the flag. So I think I'm going to put white paint on top of that as well. Okay, so now I've done it so much, but now it's not even going to stay down. So I'll just make sure I go in from the tape so it doesn't go underneath. But I still get a good line. So I just want really white for this part. Obviously of our flag. I'll have to use a smaller brush to go in and around the maple leaf here, but I'll get as close as I can with my large one. Oh, darn it. Clean baby wipe. I might have to turn it upside down for that top part. So let's just do this bottom part here. Bye, Vicky. Oh, hi, Ria. I didn't see you come in. Hello, hello. Welcome. I think it's the first time I've seen you at my stream. If not, I'm sorry, I don't remember. I don't know, Janet. It is being a pain in the butt, that's for sure. I thought IBM was going to make things better, but it was for a couple of weeks. I don't know. Maybe just the whole series of servers that they have need to be upgraded. I know that's expensive concept, but hey, maybe it has to happen. Oh, well, lurking's good too, but glad to see you in the chat. Well, whole grain rice is an incomplete protein, so I assume that must be, oops. Rice becomes a whole protein. Brown rice becomes a whole protein when you eat it with a lentil, or I don't mean a lentil, a legume, vegetable. I can't eat vegetarian because most of the legumes that give you your protein I don't like, so I love my chicken and my fish. What are Paz and Presto up to? They're both in on the bed, still sound asleep, I think. One of those lazy days. They didn't even get up with me today. Paz usually gets up with me. Presto doesn't. Presto just gets off my legs and then lays down on the corner of the bed. And she'll get up a couple hours later. Oops. But Paz usually gets up with me, but she didn't even get up with me today. So who knows? They're probably in on the bed, sound asleep. They're never in here when I stream. The minute I start talking to you guys in the chat, they take off. So, yeah. They don't like sharing me, so when I start talking to you guys, they just Paws just takes off. All right, I'm going to turn this up the other way. Thank goodness I don't have to paint all the stripes in the American flag. Ha! Well, with beans. Yeah, Dixie. Beans, legumes, whatever. Yeah. Aren't beans part of the legume family? I believe. I could be wrong, but that's what I thought I remembered from my home economics school days. Oh! No, I'm not, Ella. I'm being extremely lazy. But starting tonight, after this stream, I am going to start working on adding the photo mats and etc. to the wedding album. And I'm not going to stop working on it, well, except for sleep and eating, until I get it done. So I plan on working this weekend to get that wedding album done, and then I can go back to some crocheting and knitting. Because I gotta try out my new, I even have a project already to try out my new knitting needles that I won. So I dared not start a project until I got the wedding album done, because I know myself. Oops, look at that. I spread that paint. Darn it. Okay. Here we go. I put out way too much white paint, but that's okay. It can go back in the jar. I am going to use an unpainted, a couple of unpainted pages on this journal page as well. Unpainted coloring book pages. To try that to do the difference. So I am going to do both a colored, painted, and unpainted coloring book page image transfer. Whew. Say that 10 times fast. Say it once fast. Oh, good luck. So, and I have a pun, sort of a pun. Well, it's not really a pun, but it's a, yeah. I have an interesting, oh, why did I put that in the water? Dang it. I have to do this bottom part. Ah, darn it, Jean. Silly girl. All right. I'm pulling it at an, 60-degree angle here, whatever, just so I don't, less chance of pulling up paint here. Okay, so I'm just going to put that here. So I think I can paint this part fairly safely without any, like the white part. So I'm just going to put the red is dry, so I'm just going to put this here. And then I'm just going to peel this off. Put it here. Oh, a weather, okay. It's called a temperature blanket. And what you do is we're using 2015's weather. So you take the high temp for each, figure out the daily high, I should say, for each day in 2015 we're using. And there's a website where you can find that for your particular area. And then we're using, you can use whichever stitch you want. We're happen to be using just a single crochet for each row. And each row of your crocheting blanket, I'm going to have to go over that black again because I just started painting all right over it, so that doesn't matter. Each row of your blanket is one day of the year. So January 1st. Well, okay, so okay, let me start again. So you figure out your weather, your daily high for each day of your year. You write it down in a chart. Then you figure out for each range of temperatures, like now depending on where you are, like for example in Australia, they didn't have as large a range as me. My temperature for 2015 ranged from minus 17 as a daily high to, it happened to be a warm year because some years our daily high is like minus 40, but anyway, the lowest was minus 17 and the highest was 33 degrees Celsius. But Jen, Ozagran Jen down in Australia, their low was 13 and their high was 40, I think. And so you take each range. I think Jen used 3 degrees and had a different color of yarn for every 3 degrees of temperature. I used 5 degrees for mine. Okay, so there's my Canadian flag. Heat gun. Yeah, well, you have a lot of ends to sew in, let me tell you, Terry. So then each day, each row is one day. So if January 1st was minus 5, you do that row in whatever color minus 5 is in your chart that you made up according to your colors. And then if January 2nd is minus 3, it might be the same color. So you might be able to do those 2 rows the same. But I have one complete one done. But instead of doing like 350 stitches or whatever it would be to be a queen size quilt, we're only doing 40 stitches, and there's 8 of us in the swap. So we're doing a 40 stitch panel. You put either black or white between each month in a double crochet, so you can see the divide of your months. We'll also use, if we use black, we'll use black to connect all our panels together. Then we're swapping out and sending them. So we've got 2 from Australia, 1 from the UK. There's 2 of us from Canada, but it's like me on the East Coast and Jan and Mr. Bear from the West Coast. So it's going to be 2 totally, because they live in our subtropical rainforest. Not subtropical. What's it called? Anyway, whatever. It's kind of like a rainforest out there on Vancouver Island. Yeah, I got a little blister on my thumb from where I burnt it. Yep, it's blistered. Oh well. It will be fine. I'll wash it and put a band-aid on it when I'm done. See those of you who came in late, see my heat gun? The plastic coating on the outside is melting. Yes, it's melting. Thank you, Denise. It's a temperate rainforest. Thank you. Duh. I knew that. I just wouldn't come to my brain. Uh-oh. No, I don't want that to fall. Okay, hold on. Let me put this back in before I end up losing it. What did I do with my... What did I do with my palette knife? Hello, palette knife. Let me put these in the container. I have to go searching on my floor underneath things for the rest of my Posca markers. So they fell off my cart and they rolled everywhere. I'll get my cousin to help me because I can't get down and see under my desk or the other side of my desk and my shelves and stuff. Okay. Where the heck did I put it? It should be right here. Okay, well, I have a card I can use to scoop it up and put it back. Oh. I know, Dixie, but I'm being careful. It's just melting. There's no bare... If there were bare wires and stuff, I wouldn't use it. It's just the coating on the outside that's melting, and I won't use it much. I am going to have to... I'll have to get my hairdryer out until I can... Okay. It's almost... Oh, that should be pretty... That should be dry enough. I'll add the black later because I may not need all the black. All right. So now I'm going to trim out my little scissors. Every time I've got to put those in my cart until I get my little bottles. Got them on my... They're in my cart on Amazon. Waiting. But... There we go. Okay. Alright, so I'm just trimming out. If I go off screen, it's because I have to look closely at this while I'm trimming. It's not too intricate, but I want to trim outside the black lines, and I don't have to be super accurate because the white will all come off because it's just paper. There's no color on it to transfer. There's no ink on it. So but I don't want to have to rub it all off, if you know what I mean. So I am going to trim around it. Just not worried about super close, except in the spots where I kind of went over the line. So if I went over the lines, so I'm just leaving a little white around the edges just so that I don't have too much to rub off. Because I want the black line to transfer, so. Alright, bye, Carrie Ann. Thanks for dropping in. Alright, so this is going to be a test of Transferring coloring page images that are already colored / painted. So this still fits into our photo transfer or image transfers section of our art journaling, but just something slightly different than what I did before. So I do have a hair dryer, and I will. It's just not plugged in right now, and I'm too lazy to get it plugged in. All right, I think I'm going to include this, and maybe I'll paint it. No, I think I'm going to cut it off. Maybe I'll use it up on the flag or something. Use it in another spot. So maybe I'll cut that off. Maybe I'll use this one like up here or something. We'll see. But I don't want to use it as part of. So I'll just trim it out in case I decide to use it. All right. I'll have to color that. Forgot to color this stick, this branch, so I'm going to have to add some brown to that. So I'm going to grab my This is a Sargent metallic paint marker. It's kind of reddish brown, so let's just see how this transfers. So this is a water-based marker. So for those of you who came in later, today's journal page is about a conversation, argument, whatever you want to call it, discussion that's going on in Parliament right now here in Canada. They want to change some of the words of our national anthem to make it politically correct. They want to take out "in all thy son's command." Don't ask me what they want to replace it with. I have no idea what they want to replace it with. Not a clue. So they want to take out the word son's command. So that is what my journal page is about. I'm not telling you the title because I have figured out a kind of, not pun, but sort of punny title. So, hey Christy, didn't see you come in. Hello, hello. I don't have any younger ones to take care of me. So, shall be interesting to see what happens as I get older. Oh, that's for sure, Lynn. Sheesh. No guessing on that one. Okay. It's really funny. On Facebook the other day, I did it was last night, I guess. I did this Japanese personality test, apparently. Japanese personality test. And it just went through and it asked you all of these questions. Like, imagine a cube. You're walking through a desert and you come across a cube. How big is the cube? Yada, yada, yada. So you answer all these questions in your head, and then it goes through and it tells you whatever answers you chose, what it means about you. And mine came out strikingly true. Absolutely strikingly true. Now, the one thing that was kind of a little off is it says one of my choices I made meant that I wanted lots of kids. And I was thinking about lots of kids. But the funny thing is, I personally don't have any kids. But as a teacher, of course, I do have lots of kids, don't I? Or I did. No, I don't teach anymore, but I've had thousands of kids over the years. So, yeah. And I do still think about a lot of my students, how they're doing. I have a couple of students that I taught in Ontario in a K-5 school that I follow on Facebook, two sisters. Heck, what would be what? 5 years after 5 years after I moved away from Ontario, they were down this way with their family on vacation, and they looked me up in the phone book so we got together at the mall to have lunch and catch up. I mean, how cool is that to have students that think enough about you, think enough of you that when they're away on vacation in your area, they look you up. They knew I moved this way. You're going out of town in a week, Ella? You're coming to the East Coast for a family visit, are you? Or just a vacation? Okay, Terry. I know, right, Cindy? For sure. I thought it was pretty cool. Really sweet girls. Now, they have twin brothers, too, but I think I only had them in kindergarten. So... Right, I'm only cutting these sections out so that I don't have to rub as much to get this. I'm lazy. So I don't have to rub to get all this white paper off. The white paper doesn't transfer because there's no ink on it. But, okay. Just less rubbing. I'm lazy. Alright, so this is going to go down here. This one I am definitely going to cut. Which way do I want it? Let's see. Maybe I want more on one side than the other. Or do I want it right up the middle? I think I want it right up the middle. Okay, so I'm just going to trim it right up the middle. Okay, so now I need my gel medium. Oops, okay, before I lose this, I'm going to put this guy down. He's going to go, which will he look better, over here or over here? I'm going to trim him down more. Now this is like a decal. I made it sort of like you do a transfer, except I just put the gel medium on the top of it. 4 layers of gel medium, and this didn't cut very straight, dang it. There. It's not straight at all. Shh. Should have left it. Should have left it. I kind of stretched it here at some point. So I'm just going to gel medium that down like you would any collage item. No journaling, just a title. I don't journal. I don't like to write. Never did. The title I'm using will remind me what this page is about for years to come. So I've got a title that will remind me what it's all about. And I'm going to put some on the back of this. This is our Canadian government logo. So this will remind me that it is a Canadian government issue that I'm journaling about. I just wish it was on white, but what can you do? Use what you got. Is that the cover that just went flying, or my... Oh, no. Okay. All right. So now, gel medium matte once again. Okay. So, make sure I get it put on the right way, that's for sure. All right, so matte medium on the page, on your image, and on your substrate. Not too thick a coat. Of course, I haven't done it this way before, so I'm not really sure how much to use, but I'm gonna say just a medium coat of gel medium. Not too thick, but enough to give a, I'm going to go up and down. You don't want to go rub so much that it starts taking the medium back off, obviously. And now I need to put some on the page. So this is gel medium, matte. This will work with, it does work with matte medium as well, but I have found because it's thinner, you're going to get a more distressed. Oh, look at that. Wow, that acrylic paint is spreading. I thought it was supposed to be permanent, but anyway, whatever. It'll just add some color to my leaves here. All right, I'm gonna get a card. Old credit card, old gift card. To get it down without air pockets. Anywhere there's an air pocket, your image isn't going to transfer. So you do want to get it nice and flat here. And it's not even straight along the bottom. It's already starting to come off, so I don't want to move it. I'll paint it to get rid of that line because I didn't get it very straight. That's all right. Hey, Josie. Hey, King. Sorry if I missed anyone else coming in. I was doing okay at the beginning keeping up with chat, but sometimes it's tough depending on what is happening at my desk. Okay. So that's got to go on and stay dry. Next. So this is from a coloring book page. We're testing. Some of the leaves were colored with Prismacolors. Some were colored with acrylic paint. So we're going to see how the transfer changes with the medium used for coloring. It was a coloring book page. Purchased, not printed by my printer. Purchased coloring book page. I'm not going to go up on that red, or I'm going to go on the red, but I'm just going to make sure I don't bring it down onto the white when I do. I'm going to stay on the red so that it doesn't mess up like on the other side. I never knew acrylic paint to reactivate, but anyway. Okay. And this is going down into the crack there as far as I can get it so that it matches up. Get my card. That's all right. I'll get my paints out and fix that up anyway. So. You don't want to get any of the acrylic medium on the back of your image here, so if you get it on your card, make sure that you wipe it off before you go back at your image again, or wipe it off before it dries, like in that spot. Okay, so that's gonna dry. Next, I want to do a coloring book image that is not colored. Now, all these, don't worry, I have them already printed out. Or scanned, excuse me, so that I can color them again. Print them out myself. So I'm gonna... Yes, I have to let it dry, Terry, before I have to let it dry. So this is the Mystic Mandalas. And these, I don't know if I'll ever color these ones anyway. They're so detailed. Maybe with gel pens, but I don't know. So I'm going to use one of these. Oops, I just got a whole bunch of medium on it. 1 minute, I gotta wipe it off here. Alright. So I'm gonna use this one. It's got a sun in the center. Uh-oh. Carol. Sorry. I am going to let it dry. Sorry. Yes, please make sure you do an uppercase. And if I don't see it the first time, please do keep repeating it. I do apologize. But on top of the fact that I was in the middle of something, and then on the second fact I only have 10% vision, sometimes I miss stuff every now and then, you know? Oops. Oh, I tell ya. This trimmer does not like copy paper. It's the only thing I don't like about this Stampin' Up! Trimmer. It does not like copy paper. So I have to put a piece of cardstock with it for it to trim copy paper. It's a pain in the patootie, but whatever. So I am going to use this piece, and I'm going to use this piece. So, yeah, Vicky, you're going to have to do an update video soon. Yes, sirree, Bob. You are. Update. There they are. Look for my scissors. I think I was trying to think whether I wanted to leave the scalloped edge on or if I just want to do it round, but it'd be too hard to do it round. Now, I don't have to go right in around each thing because, once again, when you do a transfer, all right, I'm not going to use this as a, I'm not going to collage this on, I'm going to do a transfer. Now, Eileen, I know, is saying, why don't you just collage it on, Jean? No, I want only the, first of all, I only want the black lines, okay? And so then the rest will show through. What's going to happen is this, everything that's white will peel off because there's no ink. So the red will show through. Okay. Second of all, it adds texture without adding another layer of paper. Like now, although this is thin-ish, I don't care about losing the other one. Like I said, I have this all scanned, so. You have this coloring book? Yeah. It was one of the ones that was, you got 3 coloring books for $15 on Amazon. So I'm just cutting around it so I don't have as much to, so this is the side yeah, this is gonna have to go over there. So I'm gonna put this down on this side. The rest of the sun, this has to go there or she'll be upside down. You don't want an upside down sun. Yes, mystic mandalas, whatever you want to call them. So I'm just trimming it as close as I can so I have the least amount of paper to rub off. That is the plan. That is the plan. And I'm going to try not to lose them like Paula did. Sorry, Paula. Okay. Alrighty. So. Should really cut this in half because to give me 3, even if it's not totally in half. I'm not going to make it totally in half because I do like symmetry, but you know, only so much symmetrical. You're not supposed to do totally symmetrical, so I cut it in thirds, 1/3 and 2/3, or I try to anyway. Okay, so I'm using our pre-colored coloring book images and coloring book images that are still, they're black and white. Because of course these are laser printed with toner, so they will work as transfers. So that can go there. All right. Oh yeah, the flooding in Paris and Germany. Oh, unbelievable. They had to evacuate some art stuff from the Louvre in order to save it and protect it from the floodwaters. Oh, sometimes I'll rub this with my finger if I don't want to get the brush strokes, but I think for this one I don't care. Oh, I did the wrong one. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, phew. Scared myself there for a moment. Oh, this way. Darn it. Gotta put a little more underneath here. I was thinking the wrong way here. There, see, that didn't spread. I don't know. I must have had some wet paint still somewhere because it shouldn't have spread. Must have been wet. Get my baby wipe here. So I'm just gonna wipe that with my fingers. So it is face down. It's just a double-sided. It is face down. No, it's just very similar on both. No. See? That's the other side. It's very similar. These have skinnier curly thingies. They're just fairly similar designs. And if it is faced, if it was, it's too late now. But no, I did it. I did do it right. Yeah, but I think Vicky wants to come back from vacation, so why would she want to go to Mexico? Did you know that more Canadian tourists die in Mexico every year than in Canada? Just a piece of information you thought you might want to know. You want it to be fairly smooth coverage, so I gotta spread that a little better here so you don't have a whole bunch more in one area than another. Oops. Yep. Yep. Well, like accidental deaths, but murders, yeah. Yep. I'm talking murders in Canada and murders of Canadians in Mexico, right? I don't mean just deaths. I mean, there are just as many people, Canadians, murdered in Mexico as murdered in Canada each year. I should say more. well, I like it, Carol. The Criminal Minds Beyond Borders. I like it. I like it. Of course, I'm a huge fan of Gary Sinise. I really like Gary Sinise. All right. Where is the cover? Oh, there it is. I was going to say my gel medium cover. All right, this is still damp, so I am going to dry it with my heat gun. I don't like it as much as the other one, obviously, Vicky, either. But I do like it. I also like the female lead, Carrie, what's her name? She used to be on Law and Order. Nah, Terry, they're too much like soap operas for me. But I used to watch soap operas. I loved, when I was in high school, I loved Another World and General Hospital and All My Children. I watched all three of them. I used to do my homework when I got home from school while I watched them. And in my young adult teaching years, I would, once we got VCRs, I was able to record them, watch them once I got home from work while I was marking or whatever. Oh. I don't know what DA is. Really? You watch it still, Carol? I haven't watched it in years. Years and years and years. All My Children was my, well, I don't know. Another World, I think, was my favorite when it was on, but I loved All My Children, and I was very sad when David Canary passed away. He was such a wonderful actor. Oh, really, Dixie? Oh, my gosh. Oh, okay, Vicki, thank you. Okay, I'm going to do this from the back side here a little bit to make sure it's totally dry. See, this paper is thicker, so it's going to take a little longer to dry. These ones will dry fairly quickly because they're thinner paper. They're not quite as thin as copy paper, but fairly thin. But this Canada to Color book is on a very nice cardstock weight paper. Probably 65 pounds. Oh, really, Terry? Oh, cool. Yeah, Erica Kane started it, or the actress who plays Erica Kane started as a, yeah, that middle's not gonna work, but whatever. All right, so spritzing time. I was gonna say, where did my bottle of water go? Here it is. All right. I'm just going to do one side first. Spritz, spritz, spritz. I might have to use a little sandpaper or something to get this one started because it is fairly thick paper. I guess I may as well spray this one too to get it starting soaking. See what happens. See if it helps or not. Thank goodness it was my left thumb that I hurt, that I burned, so I don't have to. Of course, I don't really rub with my thumb anyway. I can already feel the paper pilling and starting to come off here. This is one time you do want the paper to pill. Oh, Big Brother. Yeah. I like Big Brother. Big Brother and Amazing Race. I like Amazing Race even better than Big Brother. I like Big Brother Canada. Although I was kind of disappointed with the Big Brother Canada was their third year this year, and they started to do like the States where they started to influence the voting, I think. It was very obvious that the producers influenced the voting this time around on who went. Even the nominations, I think, were influenced. Didn't get any spray up here. Oh, isn't Motive? I love Motive, Ella. It's so unique, and this is going to be the last season for it. Man, I'm so disappointed. I think it's so creative. If you haven't watched Motive, you have to watch it because it's so unique. At the very beginning, they show you who the victim is, and they show you who the killer is. And then they show the crime. Like, they show that before they even show the crime. They show the crime, and then they keep going back and forth from present to past to show how the crime happened, why it happened, revealing it a little at a time. And then also how the cops go about figuring it out. It's so cool. No, Motive is not true crime. No. It's a Canadian police drama. It's a Canadian police, and it's filmed out it's in Vancouver. They don't necessarily advertise it as like Canadian police force necessarily. I think because, oops, I'm going a little too hard there. It's probably not quite dry either. Being a little too rushed. I should have let it dry longer. But anyway, I'm not patient enough to do that. And if it comes out a little distressed, all the better in my opinion. Oh, that's the, that needs a little, that's the branch. That needs a little water. Blacklist. Oh, I haven't watched the second half of this season of Blacklist. Kind of disappointed in how that whole big thing from last year sorted itself out. But I watched the first half and then I thought, oh, there were other things to watch, so I've left Blacklist to watch this summer when there's not as much on to watch. But Rizzoli and Isles started the first 2 episodes of this this is the last season of Rizzoli and Isles as well. So they've had the first 2 episodes of that. And Major Crimes starts again on Monday. I love Major Crimes. Yeah. Thank you, Terry. It'll get there. See, I rubbed... Oh, no, that's... Okay, never mind. That's a part where it's cut out anyway. I thought I rubbed it off too much. Oh, I did rub a little too much off there. Okay, so I have to be a little more gentle here. Actually, I think I'm going to have to wait to get that last coat off because it's not dry. So I may have to tweet the results of this. These are dry though, so I will get a little bit of it off. I'm going to have to wait for that last coat, I think. Let it dry. Maybe I'll dry it again with the heat gun. I'll get these first coat of the first layer of paper off, and then I'll dry it again so that I don't rub too much of the color off like I did there. I got a great big hole in it and here because the gel wasn't dry all the way through. Because thicker paper is going to take longer to dry. So I'll just get it started and then I'll dry it again and do that last layer. So you can dry in between. If you get to a point where you're rubbing off too much there, like I did there, you can stop, dry this all. You can still see there's quite a bit of paper left on it because it's still white and foggy. But you can dry it in between, then add more water and keep going. And that way, you're not going to mess up your image as much, but you can get down better to the part where it needs to dry. And I'll do these in the order that I glued them down too, so that I didn't watch Dexter. Never heard of Night Manager. All right, so I'm going to leave that a little bit, let it dry, and I'll heat set it a little bit. Let me heat set it a little. Oh, Christy! Oh, I love Miss Fisher! Oh my goodness! Oh, Doc Martin, yes, love Doc Martin. I was very sad that one was canceled. If you like British cop shows and mysteries, watch Line of Duty. Line of Duty. I watch it on Project Free. It's amazing. Line of Duty. Oh, incredible. There are 3 seasons of it now. It's unbelievable. It's one of those ones. Don't get me started on that comment, Ella. I don't want to. Ugh. I just want to get it started drying again. I'll let it dry a little on its own while I'm doing these ones. Okay, so these ones are, I can tell they're completely dry. Like I said, it's thinner paper, so I'm going to have to be even more careful with these because the paper is so thin. You want to rub off one layer of ink to get to the other layer of ink. Oh dear. Tend to be a little heavy-handed with my fingers because I use my fingers for touch and sight in some cases because of my poor eyesight. So I tend to be a little bit heavy-handed at times. Okay, so I got the first layer off. Now I have to get another layer of paper off because it's still hazy. But I got that back layer of paper off. So spritz a little more water. Now this is where you have to be very careful. When you get down to this point where you have just that haze of white left, that's where you have to be careful. Hey, Kim! Yay! I'm here a little longer than usual because I'm trying to get most of this page finished. And I have the time. No one else streaming, so I may as well stay on. I got booted off at one point, so I had to start my 3 hours again anyway. So I want to finish this. So I'm using different image transfers. This one's not done coming up yet. It was a coloring book page that had some pencil crayon colorings. It had some colored with acrylic paint. And then these were just coloring book pages that I'm doing now. This was a coloring book page, not colored. So there's still some there. You can see the line. It's matte medium and not gloss, so sometimes you will be able to see the little line of the medium. Because they add an additive to the medium to make it not glossy. So sometimes it's not as clear as if you were doing gel glossy. Okay, so now I'm going to go very light, extremely light. Make sure I don't feel any, there's still some pulp coming off that. I'm going to use a baby wipe, not to rub, but just to collect the pulp. So I'm not really going to rub, I'm just going to try and pick up the, because you want to be able to feel, you can feel it once there's no pulp left, it's smooth, just like the paper. That would be interesting because, okay, so still feel some paper fibers there. So I'm trying to rub without rubbing too hard. My sister watches Nashville, but I never watched it. To me, it seemed like it was kind of a soap opera kind of thing too. And I'm not into country music. I like some songs of country music, but I don't think I could. Oh, I like Longmire, Denise. I like that show. I didn't realize it was on ABC at first. I only found it when it came on Netflix. I think there's still a little there to take off, but I'm going to let it dry a little bit, and that'll show me if it turns white and hazy. There's still a little up in this top corner here. Where's my finger? There's still a little up here that has to come off, but I'll let it dry for a moment so I don't overdo it. Vicky. Depends on the type of country. Country and western, no, not a chance. Some pop country, yes. It's fine. They know how to sing without singing through their nose. Of course, there are lots of pop singers who sing through their nose too. All right, so this was a double-sided coloring book page. So I have to take off this first layer of paper that has this mandala printed on it to get to my other one. Some of her stuff's okay, Terry. Yeah, she's very talented. Yeah. Faith Hill. I like Faith Hill. I love Amy Grant's Christmas albums. Love Amy Grant's Christmas albums. They're pop country. Thanks, Ella. Bye. So I've got that first layer off, most of it there. So now I've got to be a little more careful when I'm rubbing. I'm letting this dry so I can do the next layer without pulling it up because it wasn't dry enough. The paper was thicker, so even though I did it first, paper was thicker, so it takes longer for it to dry to the page. Oh, wait now, who are we talking about? George who? Oh, George Clooney? Ugh. Hey, CB, nice to see you. Now, I don't know if any of you know who George Canyon is. He won the second, or no, he came second in Nashville Star when it was I don't even know if they do Nashville Star anymore. It was quite a few years ago. But he grew up in my neck of the woods. And his mom and aunt used to sing at a lot of the same variety shows that I used to sing at. So he's very country though, but anyway, he's still good. Oh, George Strait? Oh, no. No, not George Strait. No, he's a little too country. Little too country western. CB came in just when we were talking about country music. I don't think this one's quite dry. Oh, yeah. That's not dry enough. Moving on. Moving on. Let's get the first layer off this. May have to go to my title while these dry a little bit. Here? Well, I took off one layer, but it wasn't quite dry enough, Vicky, to take off the rest. So I have to let it dry. Same thing here. I was taking off the ink, so I have to let it dry. And I think I'm going to soak up some of the moisture from here. And heat set it a little bit. See, I started pulling up some of the... So I've got to let it dry a little bit. This one's not going to be dry either, but I'll get the first layer off and then I'll dry it up. And go back to this one, see if I can. I didn't get them lined up very well, but that's okay. Bye, Cindy. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for coming. Why? Do you want her to stalk him for you, Dixie? Is that why you want to know? I don't even think I'm going to get the top layer of this one off. Oh, yeah, there it goes. There comes the top layer. But I'm only going to try and get the top layer off, because this is the important one. This is the one that's the sun. So those of you who have come in late, I obviously have Canadian flag. Well, it's upside down at the moment because I'm trying to get the top off here. But I am using coloring book pages, colored coloring book pages in this example. Some colored with pencil crayon, some colored with acrylic paint, and using them as image transfers. And then these 3 pieces are a mandala from a coloring book page that wasn't colored. So I'm just doing the black line images in a transfer using gel medium matte as my transfer medium. Just going to take off the top layer, and then I'm going to allow this to dry again. Use my heat gun so it can dry this bottom layer a little better. So I won't take off that bottom layer of ink. Okay, so that's the top layer gone. Okay, so turn around and go back in with my heat gun. Let me just get this top layer off here so I can get to the bottom layer and dry it. Oh, look how good that's coming off. Huh. After it dries and it's still rolling off without wetting it again. Huh, that's interesting. Let's see if the rest of it will do that without spritzing it again. Ooh, maybe that's a new secret. Oh, could be. A new secret. Spritz it. Take off the top layer. Then let it dry. Or partially dry. It wasn't totally dry. It is coming off. So chat is now talking about cool concerts they've gone to, their favorite singers and artists. So if you're watching on recording and you've never been to a live stream, you miss out on lots of cool conversations. And I know not everyone can make it to live streams, but if you can, and I don't mind if this edge distresses here, if you can, I stream Mondays and at 4 Eastern in US Eastern, well, Canada Eastern, North American, South American Eastern Time. And on Thursdays at 1 Eastern. Okay, don't want to rub there anymore because that's... This leaf has a hole in it. A worm got to it. Let's say a worm got to that leaf. Careful, Jean. Light hand. Light hand. Thanks, Terry. Thank you, Carol. Renee. Okay, I'm going to get as much off as I can without adding more wet to this, because since it is peeling, I add more if I don't have to. Although up here seems to be drier and it may need more wet. All right, let's see what I can get over here. Hey, Orla. Hey, Shauna. Nice to see you. Tiger Beat and Teen Beat. Yep. My favorite as a teenager, my heart throb, was Leif Garrett. Oh, yeah. Da-do run, 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 da-do run, run. Of course, Sean Cassidy did it too, but Leif Garrett did it better. Of course, they weren't original, either one of them, but that's beside the point. Hey, Helena. No, I'm just going longer. Hi, Bunny. I'm just going. I want to finish the page, so I had some techniques that took a little while to do, so I'm just going to keep going. It's my part 2. I got booted at one point. Booted me out of chat. Booted me out of Ustream. Wouldn't even let me restart. Denied connection. Denied connection. I had to totally restart Chrome in order to get back in. But anyway. So I've been here for a little over 4 hours now. So far. On this one page. But I had to finish coloring my leaves. Did them with acrylic paint. So we're testing out. This one was color pencil. This leaf right here that I'm working on. These ones were acrylic paint that I colored them with. Yeah, don't trust notifications. Never trust email notifications. I only get them for Debbie Epps, and I get them whenever she starts streaming. I get them when Ange streams, and I don't get them for anyone else. So, hey, Bunny. Yeah. Oh, is there a Dawn here? Hey, Dawn. I missed Dawn coming in. Sorry, Dawn. Yeah, so this one does still have a little paper because I can see it's hazy now. And that one has quite a bit left on it, and this one has a whole bunch left on it, but I just wanted to leave them sit for a few minutes. So I'm going to add a little more water here. See if I can get the rest of this one off. It's going to have to be very gentle, this last layer, though. Whoops. I've got paint on my finger that's wanting to transfer to this one. Not that that would necessarily be a really bad thing, but... Okay, so I can feel it pilling under my finger. That's why I don't want to use a baby wipe, especially on this last... I'll use it to, like, kind of wipe away. But I don't want to use it to rub. Because you can't feel the texture under your finger if you use a baby wipe, and you can't really tell the pressure you're using. Well, I didn't go to a live concert till I was 17, but I was in university, my first year university. We went to see Bryan Adams. No, well, not my first year. Was it 84? 83. The summer of 64 tour, anyway, his first big album, Bryan Adams. And went to see the Nylons, I think that same year at Christmas. No, not Christmas, wintertime. But I did see the Nylons at Christmas here a couple of years ago. But I did see some great musicals. I went to see Blue Man Group live a couple of years ago. That was awesome. Oh, but But my favorite I almost, how could I forget? When I was living in Toronto, the Toronto exhibition happens at the end of June, beginning of July. So I got to see, no, I mean August. The end of August. I got to see Bette Midler live. Oh, if you want to go see an awesome live concert. Oh. And I got to see Elton John live in Toronto. And his concert was unbelievable. And it was funny. It was right at the time where he was kind of changing, when he was changing his image. It was in the like mid 90s. It was when he was changing his image from the glam rock. And so Elton John came out on the stage, and he had a really cool three-piece, like a suit, but not like, I mean, dressy, but not dressy, like with a, it was kind of like a plaid, not plaid, but two-toned, striped, anyway, vest, and it was gray and black. Anyway, it was just gorgeous. And he sat at a concert grand piano with the orchestra behind him, a smallish orchestra, and Elton John just sang for 3.5 hours. No showy light show. I mean, there were lights, but it was just him and his music, and that was a concert. Now, Bette Midler is completely different because she is a showgirl, let me tell you. And her concert was amazing. Oh. She even did a whole set that was burlesque. Just unbelievable. Yeah, she did a whole set that was burlesque. Her dancers were all in full body paint, so they didn't have any clothes on. They were all in full body paint. Just unbelievable. I mean, you couldn't see anything because they were painted. In other words, their clothes were painted on. It was incredible. Darn it. I'll just have to repaint these in, that's all. Where I wasn't patient enough to wait for it to dry. Darn it all. So now I don't really want to take these off because I don't want to totally distress my poor leaves. Yeah, I'm going to wait. I'm not going to do those online because I'm going to wait. I want it to work out better than that. And I already did this too much. I already rubbed off a lot of that. See, if you're not patient, if I wasn't, I would have left it and trying to finish it on stream. And yeah. So I'm going to spray this and leave it. I didn't leave it dry enough before I started. Yeah, if it feels gooey to you, then the medium isn't dry. That's got to dry a lot more. I'll try and get another layer off this and then I'll let it dry. And I'll tweet pictures. Maybe I'll even do a blog post, huh? All right, bye, Terry. Have fun. Arting's what it's all about. I don't expect everyone to necessarily be able to stay the whole time. Eileen's been very quiet. Don't know if it's because she's been arting or if she fell asleep or she got booted. I can't even tell. She's still... I should look at the list and see if she got booted or not. Because I know she was having storms, so... Bye, Vicky! I'm going very soon anyway because I am going to leave this and I have to go eat. I'm hungry. And I'm going to leave this before I do my last layer. Let it dry. Oh, I should do the title, though, so you guys know what the title is. Hi, Karen. I should do the title so you guys know what my title is. The title's going here, so I can do my title. Well, do I want to use these or do I want to use my other stamps? Where are my other stamps? Hold on. I only need 4 stamps. Let's see. There's 1. 2. Need the O and the R. Oh, no, I don't. I need more than that. What are you doing? What are you thinking, Jean? I need an N and a T as well. R and N left. I need the R and the N. Okay, bye, Denise. See you later. Yep, CB, exactly. Actually, I think, of course, the paint maybe was not dry enough even. But yeah, the pencils seem to work better than the acrylic paint. Yeah. Yep, it is good to know. All right, just the N. To find the N. That's the M. I need the N. X. Oh, come on. Z, M, Y, B, L, G, V, I, S. Come on. You mean, did I gesso? I gessoed and I painted before I tried. Yeah, I painted it white before I did the transfer. But the only reason the transfer's not working is because I was too impatient and didn't wait for it to dry. It should have actually sat for a couple of hours before I tried to do the... And I just didn't want to wait. Trying to do it on stream. If I had prepped it ahead of time. Okay, my end doesn't seem to be here. Oh, there it is, stuck to the other baggie. Oh, of course. I was going to say it should be here. I don't think I lost any. Okay, so my numbers. I gessoed the whole page first. Yes, I gessoed the whole page. Dried it. Then I did the white paint and red paint. So this is all white paint here. Dried it. Then I used gel medium matte. Now, I really should use... Hold on a minute. Turning down volume. Okay, I'm back. You should be able to hear me again. Alrighty. No problem, CB. Okay, so... Alright, I need a piece of sponge foamy here. Alright, this looks like a good size. I don't care what they're for. And I have tons of extra. These are Art Foamies from artfoamies.com. They are a Canadian group. It is a Canadian company, I should say. I'm going to do them in red, and I will go around them with black once they dry, but I'm going to stamp them in red. So you put your paint on the sponge thingy, and it soaks in like a stamp pad, and then you simply wash it out when you're done and reuse it. All right, so it's a sort of pun that I'm using. Hey, Bran. Uh-oh. What are your guys' minds in the gutter about? Uh-oh. These art foamies come with this. Most of them come with a piece of this art foamy stuff. Stamp Buddy, they call it. They are distressed, so those blank spaces are supposed to be there. I'm not centering this very well. I'll have to do that. Okay. Darn it. Wasn't thinking. Oh. Okay. Make sure you don't move your stamp once you get it down on your page, which is what I'm famous for doing. Just wiping it off with a baby wipe. Wasn't gonna wipe the P and the C off, but I think now I'm gonna have to use white inside the red for the last part. Welcome back, Dixie. No. PC. Come on. Remember I was talking about... Okay. The whole page is because there's an argument in our legislature about our national anthem. And some people want to get rid of "In All Thy Sons" command out of our national anthem. Uh-oh. I need T. I forgot I needed the T. Oops. Thought I had all the letters. That's L. Oh yeah, and I want this one too because I'm going to use the dots for a period. I'm going to use it for a period. Come on, N-O-T. So what do you think P stands for? Thank you, Janet. Janet's got the right answer. So now do you know what I'm going to put for the rest of the... There it is. All right, so N. There we go. That's the bottom. That moved. Dang it all. Hold on. Let me get the baby wipe out. If I go soon enough, I can get it off. Because there is acrylic paint underneath it. There we go. Just got to do it right away. It totally slid when I put it down. I should be doing it upside down. It would be easier for me to do it closer and do it upside down. Anyway. And what quote, where does the quote, what is the quote punny from, CB? I'm going to say PC or not PC. Come on. You can figure it out. You guys are smart. Dang it again. Ratsy poo. It's just too far for me to see what I'm doing. All right, I need a clean baby wipe. That's kind of hard to wipe up when you got red paint all over the baby wipe. Oh, there's something underneath that spot. No wonder it's not level. No wonder it won't. I'm like, why am I not able to get that one right? Okay. All right, let's try it again. Exactly, Janice. Exactly. Ding, 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 ding. I don't know if anyone said it before, Janice, but she said it. But I'm not going to do the last part of it. I'm just doing that first part. Oh, maybe I'll write it in white. Oh, I could write it in white. Okay, so now I'm going to do PC. In white. So that's going to be interesting because I can't do it on that one. We have another little one. Oh, there's a little one. This one will work. The thing is, when they sent me all my art foamies, even though they're just foam stamps, they packed them all wrapped in this foam stuff without the backing on it. So I can make more foam pads just using cardboard on the back, right? Hey, Trina. Nice to see you. Okay, so white. Let's add a little white here. Yeah, so we're all worried about being politically correct and want to change the words to our national anthem. Take out all thy sons' command. I'm like, really, people? Anyway. Drives me nuts. They don't mean just men, son. They mean... Anyway, whatever. I'm surprised they don't want to take God out of it. God, keep our land glorious and free. I'm surprised they don't want to take that out of it. All right. So this is going to go here. Oh. There we go. I think I'll try one more time. Get that a little bit better. So for those of you who are just coming in, this transfer is not complete. I had to let it continue drying because I was making a mess of it. This is not going to go on there properly. Oh! Okay. Try again. And that's as good as it's going to get. It's going to stay that way. Just because it's flat. It has nothing to do with the stamps. It's the user and the fact that I was trying to stamp it on something that was not flat. Okay, so now, where is the little... This is just from the insert from one of the letters, and so I'm just going to use it. I could just use a pencil too, but anyway. Those I will sit a baby wipe on so I can wash them under the sink. Oops. Get the paint off. Okie dokie. Stamps are good. I got enough of the baby wipe, gets enough of the paint off as long as you do it when they're wet. Okie dokie. So my white gel pen, I guess I may as well put the rest of it in, right? Okay, so that is the, and then I'll put question over here. So that is the question. Hey, Debbie. Thank you, Debbie. I will go around it. I will go around it with black. once it's mostly dry. I'm just not willing to wait for these transfers. I'm too anxious to see what it's going to look like, and I'm going to ruin it. I don't have much patience, do I? No, I don't. You should see how much paper I have, like, all over me. Some of it made it into the garbage, but some of it didn't. You coming in, Paws? Oh, I thought I heard the cat, but guess not. Thanks, Shauna. Hey, Debbie. Not being patient enough with my transfers, so I'm kind of ruining them here, but pencil crayon ones are working fabulous. Pencil crayon ones are working way better than the acrylic paint ones. Of course, the paint ones may not have been dry. So I guess you can't really... Oh, no, this is a pencil crayon one, too, and it's kind of coming up. Because I really didn't wait long enough. Hey, Carla. Hey, Sherry-Ann. That's all right. Yeah, well, they are. They're never going to work perfect, but I'm enamored right now with image transfers, so you'll be lucky if you see a journal page without an image transfer of some kind in the coming weeks. Yes, I did, Shauna. This was the page I started coloring on my stream on Monday with the leaves. So this leaf and this green leaf and this leaf here were colored with pencil crayons Monday. The other leaves I colored today with acrylic paint. Yeah. So some of them are Prismacolor color pencils and some are acrylic paint. Now obviously I knew the acrylic paint would transfer because like it does on the jelly plate, right? When you let it dry and then add more, it transfers over because it's acrylic with acrylic. But I really did not know that the pencil crayons would transfer over. Look at that. And it's more translucent though. The pencil crayons stay more translucent than the acrylic paint. Of course, acrylic paint is not depending on the paint, but yeah. So, yeah, I'm not very patient, am I? I said I was going to leave this and go and come back at a later date. Yeah. I'm going to spray it and let it sit for a few minutes. There's a little wee bit left on this one. Need a clean baby wipe. Because painty from my fingers is being transferred here. Okay, that one feels like it's completely off. Good. Let's turn this around. This one I messed up quite a bit, so I'm going to have to go in with my black little fine marker or whatever and I know, Carol, right? Carrie thought of this. Carrie Love. She thought of it. I was like, how brilliant is that, Carrie? Like, really cool. I don't know what happened over here. That's Stay. Oh, I must have. That's what happened here. I think I got some acrylic paint on the back of this one, so it's not coming, or something. It's not coming off. And that doesn't feel like paper. That feels acrylic, but that's okay. Whatever. With Inktense, the problem with Inktense is that they're not permanent, Shauna. Because so the minute you spray to remove, oh, Shauna, they would. Here's how you would have to do it though. You'd have to do your Inktense, and instead of using water to activate them, use matte medium or Mod Podge to make them spread instead of water, because then they'll be permanent. And then when you add the matte medium, turn it over, they won't come off when you wet them. No. Oh, yeah, excuse me, Debbie. Yes, you're right. I'm sorry, Debbie. I apologize to the viewers out there. I was thinking Neo Color 2s. I was thinking Neo 2s. Inktense are permanent when they're dry. I apologize. Thanks, Debbie, for straightening me out on that. Duh. I knew that. Yeah. No, I was thinking Neo 2s. Yeah, Inktense. They would work with Inktense. Yes. Heat set them. Make sure they're dry. Never mind. Hey, Juju. Normally I'd be done by now, Juju, but I'm just trying to finish this page. But the matte medium would work if you wanted to use Neo 2s for this technique. You'd have to use matte medium. I use matte medium often anyway. If I'm not using my Neo 2s on a top layer and I intend to put something else over them, I use matte medium instead of water with my Neo 2s. That way, you're not all disappointed when things get all messed up on another layer. So. So I've got coloring book pages here. This one I messed up. It's my fault. This one worked really well. Coloring book pages that were not colored, and then coloring book pages that a page that was colored. So thanks, Juju. What do with my baby wipe? See, same thing there. I must have got some gel medium on the back of the paper because it's not coming off there. But actually, I'd rather it be red, so I'm actually going to scrape it off. So these were even double-sided. Thank you, Vicky. I'm wondering, these coloring book pages that I'm doing right now, because they were on thinner paper, they might have worked better if I had used, of course they would have worked better if I'd waited longer, but they might have worked better with matte medium. So I'm going to try that on another page someday. Something weird is happening here. I did not get this much medium all over the back of my page. So I'm going to have to leave that. The medium must not be dry at all or something really weird. It's not coming off at all. So I shall leave that and see if it changes. Let's go back to this and see if I can get any more of this off. I better put these away or I'm going to lose my letters. Jen is scrap and share. Bye, Carol Renee. Thanks for coming. See you at Jen's. Yeah, I've got to go get something to eat too. I'm getting hungry. I'm getting hungry. So, oh, Jean, gentle, gentle. Sheesh. Oh. Hello. Just finishing up a journal page. Why? What you doing?
Well, I have about an hour and a half. Is all I have for time.
Okay.
And I'm meeting Val at the new St. Louis.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, but I don't have a lot of time. I just can't lollygag because it's going to be a long way. I can't wait.
Right.
I'm over there now, so
Okay.
an hour and a half.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, well, I'm just about finished, so I'm just rubbing off some things from a transfer here, but I'm just about finished, so I'm gonna say goodbye. You're leaving now?
I'm leaving the house now.
Okay.
3 minutes.
Alrighty. Okay. Bye. All right. Heading out for supper. So I don't have to make supper. Woohoo! Half price apps at our favorite Thursday night spot, and they actually have a new location opened. So we're going to try out the new location. So I am going to say so long, and I will finish up a few details on this and try to finish getting this one pulled and see what happens. Bye. Thanks, Eileen. Yes, they are. These are an image transfer from a coloring book page, Juju. So my cousin's on her way, so she'll be here in 2 minutes. So see you later. Bye.